hold that for a second.
Meantime, quick question. If this is kept up, can we start the engine?
It must be in the water to start. Yeah, it has to be in the water.
Otherwise, it won't get started.
Well, it will start, but there's a problem with that because it has a pump. It's a wet pump. It must be lubricated to run the water pump. So if you run it dry, it will melt.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's with the pin, so
Okay, it comes up and it asks you, it tells you all of
Accept,
the legal things, so accept that, and we don't want to do that. So this is how it's going to pull up. It's going to pull up GPS. It'll depend on how you left it.
That is default. Or,
Right.
or the way
however
you left
it.
Yeah.
It will do that. So, and then to change the screen, this is the
Menu.
menu, and then you'll pick which one.
The screen.
We'll go to the,
Chart.
and that'll give you your navigation. That hasn't, I don't think that it's pulled up yet.
It's the same thing. Register your path also. Return.
Yes, it will. Yes,
Yeah.
it'll show your move. Well, we're not over any water to see, but it's got the roads where
Okay.
we are. Yeah,
Okay.
so we're
So
on the
that is
highway.
the screen.
Right. And if we were, over the water, look at one of the lakes,
I see.
and then it'll give us, once it give it a second to catch up, and it'll zoom in and give you good markings of all the depth and the water lines, the shoreline. It's a very deep lake.
Okay.
And it's if you move around on the screen, like if you're looking for a place and you find what you want to see, but okay, I want to go back to where I am, just hit this button, clear cursor.
Cursor.
It'll bring you back home.
You can also type in the direction.
You can. There's a couple of ways to do that. So if you want to do a new waypoint, you can enter it in. If you know where it is, you can enter it. Or discard that. Say we want to. Where's my mark? So you can hold that position, and then when it pulls the screen, you can hit go to, and it will give you the navigation to go to that point. It will tell you which direction, like it'll show your boat. You need to turn left or you need to turn right. It will tell you how to get there. So if we hit, let's move it a little bit to where we'd have to go a different direction.
Let's say go to Galveston.
So we'd hit go to cursor, and so now it's telling us, it's showing us which direction to go. A straight line, very easy to follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is the top position is north? How will the screen is?
This one is north up, yes, and that can be changed to the direction of the boat.
Okay.
I don't know which one it's under.
Is it navigation?
Chart options. Orientation is north up right now.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you wanted to follow the boat, so if you want to follow your heading, so you're always looking at the chart the way you see the water, you would go heading up, and then that would change the screen. The screen would rotate as the boat rotates.
Okay.
If you want to stop, you would just go to back to the navigation and hit cancel, and then that would stop your
Screen.
stop your screen.
So, would you go back to that menu one more time? Main menu? Main menu? Okay. If you are in an unfamiliar area, what is the first thing you would do in this?
Pull up my chart, find out which way is safe to go.
Okay.
So let's say we were, let's go, I'll just use my house for an example. So if I leave my house and I want to go, say I want to go to the restaurant that's over here. I know that Stingray restaurant, I want to go there. So I know that it's if I want to go through the bay, I want to take a ride through the bay. I'm going to look at this and I'm going to make sure if I see any areas that are 1 foot, 2 foot, I'm going to avoid those areas. I do not want to go that shallow. So I know that I need to be out farther and stay away from these areas. Like there's areas where that's not safe to go in. I want to stay out farther.
It's amazing. They have the.
Yeah, very nice. Now, something to consider though is you'll need to know your tides
Okay.
because there can be 2 foot of fluctuation in a tide.
Hello.
Yeah.
And in the winter, it's worse. The tide is very low in the winter. Have you gone through a winter at the bay and see how low the water gets?
Oh yeah. Right now.
So you have to be very
yeah,
careful.
yeah.
Now the water's high. But so that's the first thing I do is make sure where I want to go is a safe journey. That's the
Okay.
most important thing is that
So
we're all safe.
it gives information on the tide and everything.
This will not have tide information.
Okay,
You're
so
gonna
that
have
we
to,
have to.
yeah, you'll have to maybe get an app on your phone that you can watch or something like that.
Okay.
But that is the single most important thing is to
Which
make
one?
sure
What
you're
did you
going to
say?
have a safe journey.
No, he was talking about you have to be aware about the tide, and winter, summer, how it.
The wind.
So that this GPS doesn't have the capability to give
does
you
not
that
have the
information.
tides
So
in
you
it,
have to.
no.
Yeah.
The Texas tides are the hardest. They don't follow the pattern. Every other East Coast, West Coast has 2 tides. They have high and low. We can have 4.
Oh.
So it's very different in the Gulf of Mexico. And I can't explain why, but that's just the way it happens.
We are not
Yeah.
deep water fishing people anyway.
I want to add on to GPS other important things we should know.
No, I mean I think if you can operate it back to home screen, that's the easiest way to get back. If you get lost in it, just go back to home screen and get where you need to
and
be.
chart again.
And to the chart. Yeah, those are your 2 biggest safety devices. And then we can go back to where the boat is just by hitting clear cursor, and that'll bring us back.
Okay, what is that echo? What is that says?
Which one?
Oh, that is the.
Yeah, the sonar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, navigation instruments.
So that's where we try to find fish.
Yes. Yeah, you would do that, and it would show you what's under the boat.
He's a fishing person.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not all of them are used. We don't have radar. We don't have autopilot and all of that.
Oh,
so,
that's
yeah.
not there. Huh?
Yeah. Now this screen is a driving screen, so it does the same thing as the first one, but just in a different way. It'll display numbers and let you follow a compass, which is kind of for the older hands that did the older style navigation when when everything was done manually.
Everything fails.
Yes.
Go back to the good old days.
Go back to the good old days of a compass. Correct. So that's kind of their tribute to that. But
Okay.
it's really the same thing as the chart. So
Okay. All right. So let's just, I think that gives. And you have the manual for this one. This SimRad probably download from.
it's going to be a download off the internet. Yeah, these kind of comes out, and it's got a chain on it, and you just throw it over. And if you're in, let's say you're in 5 foot of water, you're going to want to let out at least 15 feet of line or 20 feet of line. You don't, if holding straight down, it will not happen. You need an angle. You need the anchor to lay down, and then that chain will keep it down and make it dig in. So always go 3 to 4 times more
we can
rope
just
than your depth.
Pull the chain and it will come
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Once you decide that you're not going to be under anchor, you can pull it. If it does not come up easy, go ahead and get it tight. Have someone move the boat up slowly to where you break the anchor by pulling up, because it's harder to pull it sideways. Much easier to pull it up than sideways.
Okay. So it looks like it is light, this
Yeah,
anchor.
oh, no, they're very effective. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
What do you call that, fluke?
Yeah, that's a fluke anchor, correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it does a good job when it lays down. I mean, that's all it has to do is dig in this
it's
way.
actually
Yes.
the mud.
Correct.
Oh, okay. So that is actually, that is why you said you have to
Right,
pull
that's
forward
why-
a little
That's
bit.
why
and-
the chain is on there to assist it to lay on the bottom.
Right. Okay. What else? These are all secured when we. all
I'm going to
this-
put those inside. We just had them out drying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no, I will put them inside.
So we don't want to let fly away.
And then once again, the operation of these is just pull them, and then once they're out, you'll press the release, and then they'll go back in.
Okay, there is
snap
a release in the
place.
back. Okay. And there is some storage
Yeah,
space.
a little ice chest here,
Okay.
and live well, which either way you want to use it.
Okay. What is that thing?
Now this is the sprayer for the live well.
Oh, okay.
It has a valve, you can turn it off, but you also have the control on
Okay,
the dash to
okay.
start and stop. And you can, if you're using it as an ice chest, you can keep your ice just by plugging the hole.
Okay.
But if you're going to use it for fishing, then you would use this. And that way the water level will come up higher, and then it just overflows in, and it has a screen to keep any bait from going in it.
Oh, God. That's good. Okay.
And then, of course, they have the same situation in the corner.
back, same-
same operation.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. What is this? This thing?
These are for holding fishing rods.
Oh,
You would put
okay.
your fishing rod in, angle out.
All right. And what about this one?
That's where you tie your rope.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
So this is where we keep all the
Tying them all. Okay. Oh, okay.
porta potty.
Yeah, so that is the connections. Okay.
I'm going to take the cover. Sometimes they do blow off on long runs, so I'm going to take the cover and set it in here.
Oh, okay. So that is when we
Safe travels.
Yeah. Okay. And now this is in off position.
Correct.
Yeah. And there is some storage space underneath, right?
Yes.
Is like cooler.
And then you have the cooler, and then I don't even think it's been used. Yeah.
Okay.
Turn that off.
So the history of this boat, they purchased it. He had a medical issue and hardly ever used.
Hardly ever used it.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to ask inside? Okay. Another thing. The cover you are talking about will cover this canopy.
It will.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we'll get
inside,
that
we'll check
information.
on that. And do you have porta potty? We can buy one.
I don't know. I'll have to go look and see. Yeah, I'm not sure. If we don't, West Marine in Galveston, I believe there's still a West Marine in Galveston.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have that. But Academy or a place like that probably would too.
So there's they have them. I was looking for something, because I have the AAA insurance now. I got it, and so they said they have the towing.
Correct,
If it is
yeah.
stuck in the water,
Yes.
so I'm pretty sure
If we
Galveston
have
is.
an emergency, the power went out and everything, we are stuck. Who do we contact first?
The towing or
If you have the towing service, you can call them. Me, if I ever, which I've been fortunate, but I hopefully there's a neighbor or a friend. But last case towing service. The Coast Guard won't come get you anymore.
oh really?
Yeah, they used to, but they do not. They've made it go private
We
now.
we have a neighbor there. To get him is the hardest thing. He has a house and a big boat right in the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
It's walking distance. Anyhow, anything else you want to ask?
Go to our list.
What I mean to
Yeah.
recording.
And put the water hose on this side.
Okay.
Don't mess with this. This side, you'll see where the hose spins on. It fits in perfectly. You don't have to do anything else. Turn that on. Connect this. Turn your water on. I like to wait until it's full.
Okay.
And the way you will know that is you'll hear it bubbling and gurgling and making a little noise, but then the water will start to come out here.
Oh,
When the
okay.
water comes here, the block is full. It's ready to start.
Okay.
Shouldn't take probably 30 seconds or so.
So when it is full, what is the next step?
After it's full, the water will come out and you can start the engine. And I let it run until I see water coming out of here.
So this we do when this one is in the water,
It can be out of the water.
out of the water.
If it's in the water, you're good to go.
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
it makes sense, but because we are running water,
Yes.
so the system has that water pump.
Yes,
as you
it's
said.
lubricated, so we have to add the water when we're out
Got
on
it.
the lift or on the
Okay,
truck.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. So-
I like in maybe 3 to 4 to 5 minutes it will reach operating temperature, and what will happen is no water will come out of here at first, but once it hits operating temperature and the thermostats open up, water will come out of here. I let it go for a few more minutes that I know now the entire engine is being flushed good. Then I'll shut it off and remove the water hose and then hook my
shutting off where you're
turn the engine off first.
Okay.
Yeah. Always turn the engine off first, then turn the water off.
Got
Turn
it.
the water on first before you start the engine.
Engine.
Got it.
Just hook it back up.
Okay. This
This
Do-
lever is
yeah.
forward. It is
So-
That's to take the the engine cover off.
that
to
usually
open up here.
we have to do in any circumstances that
no, if you want to check.
all the
Yeah,
maintenance.
if you want to check anything, that's what you would do. It has 3 handles. It has one on each side and then one in the front.
Okay.
So we can
Yeah, and then
just lift it up.
yeah, and then it just lifts it.
So
This
where
is
do-
where you check
oil
oil.
check that.
It's yellow.
Oil check.
Yeah, right there. This is the dipstick, just like kind of got a little grease. Pretty simple.
Okay. Until we get familiarized with everything. So, we already in an emergency situation, battery he's out to start.
So in normal situation, leave this open.
That is called the build.
As long as it's out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
before you go to
Before you go in the water, yes,
close it.
this is the number one reason that boats sink is because people do not put the plugs in. Now you have full flotation, but we don't want to
Now,
test it.
now when we are taking it home on the road, can we just close it
You can.
or you leave it open?
If there is water in it now, no.
No, it's pretty open right
Open,
now. Yeah, it
right.
should be. I mean, maybe some washing water, some clear water, but it should be pretty clear right
So
now.
this is what she was asking me about bilge.
Mhm.
You know, she was asking, this is what to drain the bilge, right?
Okay. You have 2 pumps actually to drain the bilge.
Okay.
Also.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And one of them is automatic. It will come on.
What is this called?
This is when water, if water splashes into this rear well, it will come right out. Yeah.
What are those things?
Those are the trim
Okay.
part. This is the tilt ram, and these are the trim. So remember how when we were on the water demo, we had different speeds, and we'd come down, you'd hear. That's what the motor goes down. These are much, much stronger than that one. These are made to move the engine under full pressure. This one is not. It's not strong enough to do that.
Okay. Now, you said when you take the boat out of the trailer, you will go until
yeah,
you
you'll-
barely see this top.
Right. You'll unloading it, you'll cover the fenders, but loading it, you want to see the front of the fender. If you can't see the fender, you probably have it in too deep, and you'll run too high on the trailer.
That is loading and
Loading,
loading.
unloading, you can go a little deeper. Unloading,
That means
And that-
even if
and that
water
will-
covers a little bit.
and that will not always be the same because it will depend on the boat ramp. One boat ramp may be this angle, one may be this. You know, there'll be
depending on the slope.
Correct. It'll be different angles, so you have to learn to feel that over time.
Okay,
But
okay.
You'll see the boat. The boat will move
Oh,
once
okay.
it begins to float.
Okay. And when we do that, what is the normal position of this?
Keep it up.
Keep
Because
it
you
up.
don't know what's underneath, so let's
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead and keep it up when you're coming back.
Yeah.
And unloading, I would never go lower than the pins, just so you know that you're backing off safely and you're not going to run into the ground.
Okay.
And then once you're in familiar water, then you bring it all the way down.
Okay. Okay. So that GPS is also giving us the depth.
The depth also.
Okay. So
Yeah,
we
if you
can-
know that your marina is 5 or 6 feet, then you're safe.
Safe,
But
yeah.
other day we had maybe 2, 3, so it's kind of
Yeah, right now in our
Yeah.
dock it is almost. I was there the last week. It's 4 feet.
Okay, well
So
that should
this
be
is
very
13
safe.
inch,
Yeah,
yeah.
very safe.
Okay.
Okay. Put a little pressure on it,
Uh-huh.
like lift up, so you take the pressure so it doesn't sling on you.
Uh-huh.
Undo it, and then let it come back down.
Oh,
You see, it's holding it tight against it.
okay. Yeah.
And then crank it back down to where I like to bump into it. So now the boat does not shake.
Okay.
That'll make a much nicer drive.
So we just move this up and then
To unlock
bring
it.
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
Push it,
Push it and
then bring it down. You can feel it. And then you would let go with this. And then you would re-engage it when you're ready to come back. And just flip it the other direction.
So then when you're ready, you unhook it from there. Right?
Correct.
That is this one, this clamp. Okay.
Now, if I'm by myself, I like to do, maybe give it about a foot or 2 foot, and then click it again so it doesn't come out anymore. That way, when I'm unloading, I can see the boat float, and it might back up some, but it won't run away. So I normally don't unhook that until I'm ready to take off.
Okay.
yeah, on the boat.
Right.
So that usually you come through the front, to the front of the boat and do it.
But y'all will have the benefit of doing it together, where you won't have to climb like a monkey like
Yeah.
I have to all the time.
Yeah, but it is good to know. These are all emergency.
Yes. It's good to know how to do it with one person.
One
Correct.
person. That is my point. And this is the only thing to secure this boat to the trailer
This one
Well, and then we have the 2 straps in the back.
back.
Yes.
Okay.
this one then. This. So how do you loosen that?
So it has a cover. So all that is just a cover to keep it together. And then once you release it, just pull on it, and it pops up.
Oh, okay.
And it may not come out immediately. You might have to give it just a little bit more
Loosen it,
slack.
huh? Loosen
Yeah,
it.
and then it'll come out. And then just go back to the same little mark and make sure it's clear.
Flip back.
Yeah, and then flip it back over. And that's the keeper.
Okay.
So it is tight.
All right. And there is both sides.
Yeah, both sides, same operation.
Okay. So this is always, this must be closed when you go to the water.
When you go in the water, it must be closed.
Yeah. And when you come back, you just release it and drain the water out.
So they didn't even renew the tag.
He's going to.
It will be renewed.
No, but the owner.
Oh no, the owners didn't. They never used it. They renewed nothing. No.
Okay. So, how the water gets in usually if that is closed? I mean, the splashing.
Splashing here and little things here and there.
Okay,
Yes, it just
Okay.
a little bit of water is not unusual.
Epson, we got most of the
Yeah, let's
questions we covered, and